All right, what's going on, guys? It is the world's sweatiest YouTuber, Isaac Punts, out here today. We're talking about my least favorite thing, and also the thing I'm most addicted to, heroin. I'm joking, we're not talking about that. That'll be for a different video. We're talking about the dumbest play in football, and why it existed, and why it doesn't exist anymore. It's stupid. It's literally the dumbest play. Once I explain it, you're gonna be like, how did we get here? The play is the drop kick, okay? For some people, it's a pretty easy thing to rationalize around. You take the ball, you drop it, it has to hit the ground, and then you kick it. You can do this to get 3 points you're within field goal range. You can do it for an extra point. Doug Flutie notably did it. He was the last one to do it.
Drop kick for the extra point. It is up and in. Can you believe that?
Thank God I wanted to be a dead play. And we're gonna talk about why I wanted to be a dead play. In case you're wondering why I'm sweating so much, I just got done hitting some nukes, crushing them, demolishing them. Probably one of my better punts I've hit in a while, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I just was moving fast, made contact lower, which really seemed to help. Felt really good off my foot. Got me pissed off to talk about drop kicks. First of all, let's talk about the mechanics behind the drop kick. Pretty much, it's just an extremely precise movement, okay? You gotta catch the ball, catching the snap. Realistically then, you probably wanna mold it to some degree. When I say mold, I mean get the laces how you want the laces. Field kickers do it, punters do it, we all do it. That eats up a little bit of time. On top of that, you also want to, make sure that it gets set wherever you wanna get it set, so you can drop it and then kick it. On top of that, the act of dropping that ball has to happen pretty quick. The snap's gonna get back pretty quick because you're probably only at 7 yards. Maybe you're at 14. Why? I don't know. It's just gonna make the whole process harder. But realistically, you might have to move back to 14. But that's all aside the point. You might wonder why this is such a stupid idea. Isaac, can you hit a drop kick? Yeah, here's me hitting a couple. It's not a particularly hard movement to do. The thing that sucks about it is we have to think about what is the hardest part, okay, of a punt, and what is the hardest part of a field goal, okay? Because a drop kick is pretty much combining the two. So let's think about it. The hardest part of a punt, okay, is the fact that you have to move so quickly and you have to hit a moving target, right? Field goals, kickoffs, they're nice and easy because they're just sitting on the ground for you. You just have to kick them, okay? Fundamentally, they're all pretty hard to hit mechanics-wise, but the mechanics are the least of the issues. If you give us long enough, we're gonna figure it out. Obviously, we're hitting 66+ yard field goals nowadays. That part's not very hard. The hardest part of the punt, though, is catching it, molding it, and getting everything set within like a super finite amount of time. Okay, you have to do it fast enough that some big dude isn't gonna come through that line and smack that ball in the next week.
Up the middle, it looked like the up back on that play just didn't move over, and that was Amari Rogers.
For a traditional punt, the operation from catch to drop to contact is usually around like in the NFL 1-3. I've seen those guys do it in like 1-0. Okay, they can. They don't always have to because they got a good snap and they got good protection. But about a 1-3, pretty standard time. And that's a pretty hard thing to do. It might look really easy, might look really trivial, but everything that ever goes wrong in a punt is because of that ability to catch the ball, get the laces up, and get it set while you kick. That's 99% of where stuff goes wrong. So that obviously is something that's going to be incorporated into a drop kick. Next, you got to think, what is the hardest part about hitting a field goal? Because the act of hitting a field goal, not really super hard. I'm not a field goal kicker, but I can hit field goals. Obviously, you see me hit drop kicks before. I'm really bad at field goals. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm good, but I've backed up to 40 and banged a couple. It's like my dating life. No, I'm joking. Sorry, Granny. 40 is not really even Granny age. Sorry, I'm not on the prowl for cougars. Aside the point, let's get back on track here, Isaac. So the hardest part about hitting a field goal is just the accuracy portion of it, right? Duh. It's a tiny square. You've got to be extremely accurate. You have very little room to make any sort of mistake, right? It's not very big. I'm sitting here looking at one right now. So you have to be extremely precise, which is why, like, if you've ever been a holder, your field kicker rightfully should be in your ass like a enema before, I'm gonna re-say that. Your field kicker should be in your ass like an enema before you get a colonoscopy, okay? It's just the way it needs to be. You have to be extremely precise at holding, so that way their precision can be even more amplified. And there's a direct correlation between how precise the hold is to how accurate the kick is gonna be, from as much as like just the physical placement to where it's on the ground, how much tilt you have, where the laces are angled. Those are all things that are gonna affect the way that ball comes off the kicker's foot. So you don't have a lot of room for error there. Now, the drop kick takes the two hardest parts of either of those things and mashes them together, right? Because with punting, you don't have to be particularly precise. okay? And with kicking, you don't have to time up a drop and a hold and all that stuff. That's already done for you. So they took the two worst parts of both of those to create this monstrosity of a play to somehow ever get it to pass in the in the NFL. Now you might think there's got to be some strategic advantages, right? Well, let's kind of just break those down. First of all, you can do a drop kick. There's only one, okay? You can do a drop kick out of an offensive formation. You can disguise it a little bit. If you're on the goal line, so at hike, take 2 steps back, now you're in a drop kick. Defense is probably gonna be held up, especially if you're on like a 2-point play, then you can take a little bit more time. It seems like an advantage at first, right? Except for the fact that drop kicking is so hard that all the advantage you get of not getting a rush does not make up for the fact that you're probably just gonna make an extra point 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100 because we've just gotten that good at hitting extra points nowadays. Anything else that you might think is an advantage, like having an extra guy for a blocker, ow, I just got bit, having anything else is completely negated by the fact that it's just a worse kick overall. It's way more variant, it's way more wild, and because of that, I'm gonna try to hit 5 drop kicks right now. I'm gonna just keep the rolling, okay? That's pretty much all I want to say. I just want to talk to you guys about why I hate this play so much. So now we're gonna see me struggle to hit 5 extra point drop kicks. Oh yeah, in a row. Let's see it. I'm not doing this on purpose, I promise. Okay, so if you ever ask yourself, Isaac, why don't they bring the dropkick back? Why is it a dead play? Refer yourself to this video and shut the up, please. I'm tired of hearing about this play. Dropkicks are so ass. Anyway, peace.
When they had to. Now the drop kick by Dixon. It is fielded by Rod Smith.
How about that? Gostkowski just lobs it over there.